I do it for the
Maybe.
t-shirt. Let's go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome Wednesday night. I got my TMX shirt on. These are prototypes Dave sent over to try out. This one fits pretty good. Nice and snug. I like it. I don't want them real baggy. So we're gonna have a merch store. Jake, David's working on that. So my name is Brian. This is David. We've been around the community that we made called Trade Tribe for over a year and a half now. And what I've learned this, and it might sound crazy, it might resonate to you, but if you want to go fast, you can do it alone. If you want to go far, you need a team, right? You need a team, and you have to have a team of people. And one thing I've learned too is it's hard to trust anything and everything out there in the crypto world. So what we've done here is over a year and a half ago, we created a group called Trade Tribe. And we created that off of, me and David and another buddy, Tim, we've been in and out of different programs. And these programs, they're always ran by somebody that you don't know or a developer that hired some CEO. And normally we get lied to, and then nothing ever kind of runs its course or does what it's supposed to do, So what we did is a year and a half ago, we created Trade Tribe. Trade Tribe was around Jake, our buddy Jake. He's out of Croatia. My buddy Tim, that's in Prague. He's from Ukraine. Drove down, met Jake, his family, his wife, sat with him. Went to his house, went out to eat, and was like, "Hey, we want to create a trading platform around your trading." All right. He's like, "All right, I love that." He goes, "But I have a vision of us creating a decentralized exchange. So that way I don't have to trade and it's safer for people." And I'm just like, what? Okay, like what, how would we even create that? I'm like, we'll get to that later on. Let's focus on you trading. Just keep doing awesome. Well, he did awesome. He did good, did great for 2 months. 2 months did great. I'm not saying it's his fault, but Bitcoin went up to like 74,000, and within a day, oh, not even a full day, it went down to like $68,000. So he took, and it did that while he was sleeping. He had stop losses set and it was hitting the stop losses. So what happened is he took some losses. Well, this is real trading. This isn't like Dennis puts money in so we can pay Jim. No, this is Jim has money in, I have money in, Dennis has money in, everybody has money in. And we get paid a certain percentage. We made set percentages because people wanted that. Well, we couldn't pay that. Jake's like, "I can't pay that." So that month he paid 1%. The next month he caught up on trades, he paid 5%. Next month he paid 10%. Next month he caught up and paid 15%. It is stressful. Anytime the market moved, our whole community is sweating. So that's one thing that I was like, even though this is as real platform as you can get, it's still stressful. And I don't know, I don't know how Jake can keep trading. I mean, 10 years, he had over $10 million worth of funds copy trading him on certain exchanges. Like he knows how to trade, but he was glued to it and doing it. So in that time, we set up a referral program. We took those referrals that we were making and we never even kept them. Jake used that to fund the developers to create the exact same exchange. We just got better aftermarket parts on it. But just like an exchange called GMX that launched in 2020, 2021, they launched and they have over $1 billion now that's and throughout its liquidity. They make around between fees and profit over $110 million a year. That's incredible, right? And this is something that you attach to your MetaMask or to your Trust Wallet or Token Pocket, but Trust Wallet and MetaMask, excuse me, are the most popular. How how is that possible? Well, like I was saying, when Bitcoin drops 10% or goes up, like you saw today, where Bitcoin, if you were watching the charts and you watch Bitcoin go up to 110, $111,000, but it started at 106, 107, then dropped back down and then went back up. When that happens, people are getting liquidated. They are losing their money. Where does that money go? That money goes to the exchanges. So 2 days ago, Bitcoin moved 10%. And just in, I think it was an hour, there was like $1 billion liquidated. A billion with a B, a capital B was liquidated. Well, where's that go? It goes to the exchange that the person was liquidated on. So if I'm going to show you like a little bit how that works, like here's MEXC. This is an account right here. So if I say I'm going to get into a trade, this is futures trading. This is what we would have for futures trading for our TMX exchange. So say I'm going to do 200x leverage. I'm going to do about 50% of my available balance. My liquidation point, if I do a long right here, would be 109.97. That's less than $1,000, and I lose all of my money, and it goes to MEXC. I'll probably pay 100, 200, $300 fee on that as well. If I do a short and this goes up to 110.08, 110,800, gosh, it's so weird saying that, right? Bitcoin's making all-time highs. So if it does that, I lose my money. So it's almost crazy to do that. I would never suggest anybody to do that. Stick around, 10%, 5%, play with the demo. Don't ever do that. Let me make sure I just get it off of 200 and never ever do that. So that right there, when you do those trades, all that money goes into liquidity inside of MEXC. Those fees are the important thing that I'm going to talk about here next. So we created that trading part and we took those funds that we were making and we paid the same people that made GMX to make TMX. What we have the chance of right now is to get the token in a TGE, which is a token generating event price before it even launches on exchanges. So we did a private sale. We raised $871,000 from our small community that trust us and understand it that, hey, look, you're getting a token that's going to lock you in for 6 months to go into TMX as you're staking it there, and you're going to get paid on 20% of the fees from the trading. Also, that token will go up in price, right? So our community trust us. They took that. I took that. I got almost 100,000 tokens as well in that private sale. Now we're in the public sale. Public sale is a little bit different, but a little bit more exciting for those. You're not getting it 50 cents. You're getting it paired to Ethereum in the dollar range. So if Ethereum is 2,500, we're looking at the token to be around $2.50 as it launches. So let me kind of go into that before I really dive into the rest. So I got to move everything around here. Let's see here. I'll pin here, move that. Okay. Also here, let's see here. Where are we? It's so crazy. You got all these Zoom things that are always in the way, right? So can you see that, David, where you can see the TMX introduction here? This is kind of
Yeah,
like
we see it.
this is a little bit of a one pager, right? I'm not going to go too much into this, but really what we have is it's an exchange. I'm not going to say all the tribe perpetual, like that means nothing to most people. They don't understand it. And I can agree with that and resonate with that. So it's a decentralized exchange. It means this connects to your wallet. It has futures trading on it on the Ethereum layer 2, which means we're on the Ethereum kind of blockchain, but with a different network called Arbitrum. Arbitrum is super fast, super cheap, super secure. The security is great, super low fees, right? That's how that works. So we have a couple ways of making money with this exchange, TMX. You can stake your tokens. The tokens are going to go up in price. GMX's went from 90 cents to $91 in 2 years. Imagine holding on to that, staking it into their exchange, and then making percentages off the traders trading too. Then we have a liquidity provision, which is they call LPs. So this is adding funds to the exchange for traders to utilize and use to trade with, and that will pay between 200 to 500% annually. Every day, a little bit would go to your wallet on how that works, and you click the button claim, and that'll be in USDT, and it'll go right to your Trust Wallet or your MetaMask. So the exchange also will have grid bots. It'll have a DCA bot, which is a dollar cost average bot as well. And, for early investors that get started, and honestly, these are rewards for doing different tradings, airdrops, incentives, different things that they'll be giving away like TMX tokens. So I'm not going to go into all this, but this is a no KYC requirement. It's just a wallet address. It's all secure under smart contracts. And that's something that you got to understand is like once these smart contracts are audited and this is set up and turned on, there is nobody running it anymore. And it's governed by us, the token holders. We will help govern and make decisions with TMX as a community. So it's kind of cool how that works. So the minimum to get started in this will be 0.05 Ethereum. So now I'm going to come here and I'm going to show you the page. So this is a link that you'll get from somebody. If you're showed this and you're not a part of the community anywhere, nobody even, I don't know if you see this anywhere, you can literally go and do this without a referral link, but most people will have a link. If you don't, get with the person that invited you, get your wallet address over. We have to make you a link. It's down here like this. You hit that copy button, but you can do it like that. So right now we're putting our Ethereum into this smart contract. We're pulling it together. Right here, the pool balance is 100 or 121 Ethereum, almost 122. So, and I'll show you how this works. So you got your Trust Wallet or your MetaMask. I got my MetaMask right here. So you can see I got some Ethereum in here. So you can see my balance is right here. This is on the Arbitrum One network. Just come in here, push 0.1, hit deposit, hit confirm. Something went wrong. Probably need to refresh it. Let's do that. 0.1, deposit, confirm. And when that happens, you can see the total balance went up to 122. My balance went up right there. Also, you come to our Telegram chat right here. You can see, come down here, bam, it shows what's going on. We could drop a sticker sitting on a gold mine, but you can see it. It's exciting. You keep seeing when people make deposits all through here. People make deposits, posting stuff, videos, more deposits, more deposits. Our replays all in here. You can see that as well too. You got scammers, you dropped scammers, trade setups. We're always talking about trading. I'm going to show you a little bit about this too and why that's important. How to invest into it. Here's a video. Here's one of David and me. David put 10,000 in it, right? And getting started here. The merch store is coming out. Issues, if you're having issues and something's not working. But that's our community. That's our Telegram channel. We do have a Discord, not a Discord, sorry, we kind of have one. And then we got a Twitter as well. So on this is our trade perpetual page, token generating event called the TGE. That's our balance. This is my balance. We have a white paper. We have a new one coming as well because the community kind of wanted to make some changes to all their private sale tokens getting staked on the exchange right away. Then you got the progress bar here, kind of gives you a potential allocation on what you're going to get. And the goal is to launch at 0.00097 Ethereum per TMX. That would literally make it mirroring Ethereum at what Ethereum is. So about the TGE, our TGE operates on a first come, first served basis with the total amount raised determining the launch price, right? This is your opportunity to be a part of something exciting from the very, very, very beginning. And now the key details of this is the whole supply is, nope, buddy, you don't have it. You don't have it. Here, sorry, folks. My little one just got up. Here you go. We go here, watch that, go to the room and watch that. So the total supply is 2.5% of the total supply, equivalent to 500,000 TMX that we are selling here. The cool thing is, if we don't raise 485 Ethereum, 500,000 tokens are still going out. Okay, the price won't be totally mirrored, but we are getting listed on some top tier exchanges, not just our own. So that's the cap is 485 Ethereum, but then we got 500,000 TMX tokens going out. So how to deposit? Arbitron One deposit, minimum deposit is 0.05 Ethereum. You just saw me do 0.1. And then you look over here, why join? Exclusive access to TMX tokens before they even launch. Fair, transparent distribution. Like I said, all 500,000 are coming out and they'll go right into your wallet and you can actually move them to Weeks, an exchange that I'm going to show you here in a second, or you can just put them into TMX exchange as well. So this is kind of a, in my opinion, a chance of a lifetime to lock in at the ground floor level of a token. Just imagine like hearing about ADA or Pancake Swap token or SUI token or Uniswap token or XRP before it launched. Like getting those, like our token will have immediate utility. We will be listed on a top 20 exchange, if not top 10 exchange too. So this page has a lot on it. I would go over, I'd read it some and go over that part. Now, one thing I kind of want to share as well is I want to come in here and show you weeks. So Jake got us listed with these guys. Jake spends all his time now working on getting us listed on everything he can possibly get us listed on, right? So, all right, cool. Thanks. Follow that, the chat. So listed on Weeks. Weeks is a top 20 exchange. They're doing billions of trading volume daily. So I have an account here. I've been trading on this. Come here. Sorry, it's a little laggy because it lags when we do this. I started with like $2,499. I mean, you can see deposit and not last 3 months. I mean, right here, that's what I started with. So I trade myself. I do this. I got, some in spot and some in futures. So the cool part about futures is you can leverage trade, but it can also be super scary how that works. And I wouldn't tell anybody to go do that. I'd say get a demo account. Spot trading is something that you can utilize with our TMX token when it launches. So let's say we go into spot, right? Let's say our TMX token's here. For instance, we're going to do GMX. That's the other exchange. We'll do that token. So we put GMX in. You click on GMX and it'll bring up the chart for GMX. All right, we're in the chart. It's a 5-minute chart. Here's the 1-minute chart. If we want to put a limit buy in this, which you got TMX tokens from the TGE event, yours are liquid right away. You'll be able to move them over to weeks by simply just click the deposit button, send them over. Okay. So then how does this work? Well, I want to sell them. I already have it. So really, let's say we already have TMX tokens. You'll come in here, you'll come in to market order or limit order. I would say do a limit order, right? Let's say TMX launches at $2 and then you want to put $10 right here. And then you just move this over to, I would say, honestly, 10% of your supply and hit sell and sell them. And when it sells, it jumps from $2 to $10. You'll be able to, it'll go right into your account as USDT. And we'll be showing you guys how this works. So one thing I want to show you too is some of these new coins. New coins right here, up 51%. New coin up 39%. New coin up 32%. Another new coin up 18%. New coin 17%. New coin 11%. So these are coins that just get listed and they bump up because people see them and they're like, oh, there's a new coin. I'm going to jump in it before it goes to the moon. That's a lot of people, they'll think that. Well, we will do this on spot. We will teach on spot because the good thing about spot is if it doesn't sell, it doesn't matter. You still have the token, right? So and it sells, it goes to USDT, but you set that sell and there's no, if it goes down, you lose money. No, you still got the token at the price that you have it for. It's still at the same, you're still there. It's your token. You're not losing money. You're not losing money. Not paying any crazy fees. It'll cost you like $1 for the fee or whatever here. But this is on weeks. So that's how that part works. And I mean, if there's some questions on that, shoot away, but we'll be going over this when everything goes live and you see your tokens in your MetaMask and they'll be right down here. You'll just, or your Trust Wallet, you'll see TMX and you'll see your tokens. You can then go over here to weeks. You'd click on deposit. You choose the token. Bang. Here's all the token lists. Look at all these, and you choose that. You send it over and then it arrives basically. I don't know. I can't go through all of it because I can't choose the token, but you put it in there. And then from there, what will happen? Well, that's when we go to spot and it's like, all right, cool. I want to sell something. So let's say you get it at $2 and it goes up to 10, you sell 10% of your supply, you just made a lot back. You take that other 90% and you put it in a TMX to make the extra percentages. So one part I wanted to share with you guys, and let me move the pin, is this part is it's hard for really people to understand. So I'll probably pin myself real big. So that'll be the screen here. So here's the thing. In TMX, you get paid two ways, just two ways. I don't want to do four, but two ways. You can stake your token and make 20% from the fees from those traders. And one thing I didn't show you, sorry I didn't show you, but let's go back here and I'll show you my account. So let's go to position history, right? Order history. $14 I won. I paid $2.98. $12. Paid $2.50. $3 a one. Sometimes I add to trades. And that's why it's so low. 0.770 cents. You know, you keep going through here. Let's see. Well, can't keep going down, but you can see the gist of all these fees, right? All these fees that I'm paying. So all those fees are paying the token holders. That's what will be paying us in TMX is when people are trading, people are swapping, people are selling, people are moving coins. Say Dennis has a bunch of Bitcoin, but he wants to trade it for XRP and he does it in the exchange, he's going to pay a fee. That still pays the token holders, okay? 20% to the token holders. Also in that time period, in TMX, the token is going to go up in price. We have a market maker that will stand behind us. Jake went to Munich, did an event, met with market makers, met with Weeks. Then he went to Dubai, met with more people. And there's still some cool stuff I haven't even talked about. But 20% for the token holders, what I want to explain, because a lot of people don't get this. Then we have those liquidity providers. They get 50% of the fees. So between them, that's 70% of the fees that will be paying the community from the fees from the traders. When the traders come in, 95% of them lose when they play around with that futures market. And boy, I've lost in there and I've won. So when I win, I take my gains, man. I don't keep messing around. I'm like, hey, get that put in the bank account, done. Don't even want to mess around. Play with all of it. So those, when they lose, it goes into liquidity. When we get more and more and more and more liquidity, that supports more and more and more traders to trade on the exchange. So then that's more fees and more fees. Like GMX makes $100 million+ a year in profit and fees. And I think 80% of it is in fees. That means the community is getting paid. Jake bought $10,000 of GMX at 90 cents. He staked it. He would take that USDT that he was earning every day from those fees. He would roll it into the liquidity part. And then he was getting paid on 50% of the fees from being a liquidity provider. So he just kept rolling that in, rolling that in. Here's another cool thing that there's no catches here. If Dennis is like, I have 10,000 in liquidity, I have 10,000 in the token just went up to $50 a token. Now okay, go to the room, buddy. I'll be in there in a minute. He can sell that and take it out of the exchange anytime he can. Okay. There is nothing stopping him. This is all ran on smart contracts. There's no Brian running the show. There's no Jake. There's no David. There's no Tim. There's no Jerry. There's no Jim. There's no Bob. There's no Henry. Nobody's running this. This is all ran on smart contracts that are audited by a super creditable company that did the same audits as GMX, and that company and that exchange has been here for 5 years and is massively successful. So we're taking the best exchange, we're taking their source code, like their engine, putting it in ours, and putting a couple better aftermarket parts on there for traders. And then we're adding a Visa card. This Visa card, Jake's been working with a bunch of different Visa card providers to try to get us the best rates and kind of the best deals, right? As in, to buy the card, or, is it a physical card, or do we get a virtual card, or do we have to get a prepaid card? This part is really cool. So Dennis he's making, I don't know, let's say he's making it the lowest at 200% per month or sorry, 200% per year. That's 15% per month, right? That's the lowest on the liquidity side at 50% of the fees. Okay. Let's say he has, I don't know, let's just do easy numbers. Let's say he has $100,000 in there, right? He's making 15% a month. That's $15,000. He takes that and he adds it onto his Visa card and he can go use his Visa card anywhere Visa is accepted. Can you really name anywhere that Visa is not accepted? I mean, I can name a couple of places because I live in the Dominican Republic and they don't even know what Visa is, so but everywhere else does. You can use Visa anywhere and everywhere. So that is the cool part. Another cool part of that is it's tied to your wallet address, and they just need an address to send it to. Heck, you can give them Jim's address and have it send there if you don't even want to give him your address, and he can send it to you. It don't matter. There's no KYC for that card. There's no reporting to, your Uncle Sam. There's none of that. This is all decentralized. One thing about centralized, I've been around this for a while and I've watched so many videos, is you got money in a centralized exchange like Bybit. My buddy has some in there. He was having money put into Bybit from different programs. They they stopped his account and said, we think you're doing some kind of money laundering. What's it matter where it's coming from? I could have Dennis paying me, David paying me, and me sending them cash. Like, what do you mean a money laundering? They can really shut your stuff down. They can hold your crypto. You don't, if it's not in your wallet, you don't own the 12-word phrase. 12, you don't have the keys to your wallet, then you don't own your crypto. You take all that cash that you have, you put it in the bank, that's the bank's money. You put all your money in Coinbase, that's Coinbase's money. They go under, nothing. TMX, nothing like that at all. You run everything, it's all in your wallet. The only thing you'll do is click a button to put it into trading, and you'll click a button to take it out. That button is ran on smart contracts that can't be manipulated or messed with. That's what I like 100% of the way, is me having complete control. None of this bullcrap stuff where you got control until actually you don't have control. This will give you the control that you actually want, you actually need. So that's something went over. David, am I missing anything at all that you can think?
No, no, honestly, you're not. You're on point. I mean, you hit everything nail on the head. I mean, just to reiterate kind of what Brian was talking about, like one thing when Brian was showing his trading account, if you guys picked up on this, you guys saw all the fees, right? So just imagine TMX, once it's listed, we have a bunch of traders on there. That's just Brian's fees. But imagine you got thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands traders around the world. That's just the fees, how this exchange, your exchange, is going to be making profit. He just said GMX makes billions, it's crazy to see how much money could flow into it, but you guys got to really understand and wrap your head around it. It took me a while to wrap my head around this, but I had that aha moment when I realized you're in control 1,000%. And when traders get liquidated, I mean, if you guys are following Watcher Guru, you can see how many times exchanges traders get liquidated, and the exchanges, all that money flows right into the exchange. Now, think about it. When Jake was trading, Jake is like, well, if I lose this money or if something happens, where does that money go? It goes to the exchange. So now, because we have TMX, Jake's not trading, but I'm just saying all these traders on there, where is that money going to flow? So I hope you guys understand. That was a big aha moment for me where I realized that we are in an amazing place right now. This is not a token launch. It's a decentralized exchange launch. It's night and day. So you guys are in for a wild ride. So yeah, but you're hitting all cylinders, bro.
There's a couple things I forgot to explain too. And this is really cool for those people that, well, actually everybody. So if I refer Dennis, Dennis puts money into TMX. Dennis refers Wally, Wally refers Melody. That's three levels. TMX, not like MXC or Weeks or some of these other exchanges, we will pay three levels that's already coded into
On
the smart
multi-level
contract
marketing.
on, I got it, I muted him, on the
It's just
trading
multi-level
line.
marketing, which is illegal.
All right,
And
okay.
you're not getting Visa, bro.
All right, I'll remove that guy. Yeah, we totally will get Visa. It's really easy to do. So One thing about this is it pays 3 levels on trading volume, just like, some other exchanges, but they only pay one. So that's the kind of cool part on how that works. And then another thing is too, like what I do is I join these different discords. You go into the discords and you can see all these traders, they promote weeks, they promote MEXC, they promote Blowfin, all these different exchanges, and they post all these gains all the time. So when we do gains, we make gains. If you're a trader, post them in here. People are going to see TMX and go, what is that? So like I follow a lot of different traders and they're doing this all the time. So that's the kind of cool thing too, to be, start posting your stuff on here. So if you trade, you do that, jump in, do it that way. But I mean, that's another added thing to it. A lot of people, don't care about sharing the exchanges, and that's totally fine. But that's just an added benefit to if you do want to share this, because on the trading volume, you will make really good money. I've shared my link to MEXC and made under $10,000 from people trading. And it's like, whoa, I didn't even know that was kind of a thing. I was just saying, this is where I trade. Here's my link. I never even looked into the referral side. So I started asking these guys, these YouTube traders, how much money are you guys making? Because they do trades. They're like, oh, I made $300 on YouTube Live. And they're like, I make a couple $100,000 a month just from sharing my links for Mexi and Weeks and Blowfin and all these hyperflu liquids and different exchanges. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So they get on there and they teach people analysis and how to trade crypto. And then they make a lot of money off sharing that. So our goal at TMX is to really find those people, get the influencers, find those YouTube people. And Jake talked about it today that he even has them approaching him already, asking him, hey, can I be a part of this? So like we take some money and we give it to them to trade with. They like how it works, how it's smooth, how it stays in their wallet. They start sharing it. That grows the liquidity, grows the liquidity, grows the liquidity. And anybody that purchases the token stakes it's going to make good money. You take some of that money, sell the token, put it into liquidity, make 50% off of those fees as well. So it's all about passive income. I'm not in here for a pump and dump, not in here to buy TMX and sell it immediately when it goes up to $4 more. I'm in here for the long run to make the percentages from the exchange. If somebody doesn't understand that, I guess just keep tuning into the Zooms and there'll be an aha moment where you will get this. But we are on the whole other side of this. We are not hoping a trader does good. We're not following some AI bot that's going to take trades for us and then lose our money when it has a bad day. And we're actually hoping the market goes crazy. You'll see Bitcoin go up 10% or down percent, and you're going to be smiling because people just got liquidated and all that money went into the exchange while everybody else sitting around sweating, looking at stuff going, oh man, yeah, I hope my trader did good. I have a lot of people that put money into these big time traders, and you know what they're doing? They're still waiting for withdrawals because the market's so volatile that I guarantee the guy lost some money. I did good today. I was up 1,700 and one trade I lost 900. It was like, dang, it went so fast down. I couldn't even hit the close button quick enough. So I recovered. Don't worry, because I know what I'm doing, but it can happen that fast. What if I was over leveraged? So we are in a spot where there'll be less stress. It's all like a well-oiled machine. It'll launch, it'll get certified, everything audited, then it's go time. So right now we're doing that public sale. This will go all over the place. People put Ethereum in. We've already raised over 100 Ethereum. I think that's awesome. We're not even, it's supposed to be the end of May, but it could be a little longer. I don't know. I don't trust that it will. It's just May 31st, I believe, will be the last day of the TGE. I'm going to be begging if we can extend it. And he said the only reason why we would extend it is for auditing. So like auditing the smart contracts. And since we made a change in it, that's would be the only thing on the audit part. So trade and gain into liquidity. Hope I'm right. The strategy is clear. Trade and put the gains into liquidity. You don't really have to trade. You want traders to trade, and you having the token staked, you'll make a percentage from those fees, like I showed you, and that would go into your wallet basically in
And
USDT.
what is
Go
that,
ahead.
Brian? 70% of trading fees, right?
Yeah, combined with staking and liquidity at 70% of those fees, that's great passive income. And then the other 30%, I mean, that's just gonna go, it goes into it goes into liquidity, and then we take some of that and we use it to give to freaking influencers to promote this worldwide. So yeah, you got it. You're right, Josue. You know what's up. So yeah, this is a really cool program. I wanted you guys to really understand it. I'm trying to relate it because I know it's hard to get because we've never even experienced the opportunity to be in something like this. But this is how it works. And we will be back Monday at I think 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern. And then also next Wednesday, we're gonna do this again next Wednesday. All right. But next Wednesday, I'm gonna give away $250 worth of Ethereum. So we're gonna do a little thing where we write down, maybe we'll even ask a question. So maybe pay attention a little bit. We'll ask a question, and those that can answer it, or maybe we'll put all the names in a wheel. I don't know. And we'll give away $250. And then hopefully you put it on the TG event. If not, you just made $250. But let's try to get this Zoom doubled. Let's try to get, 30, 40, 50 people on here. So next Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, same link. I'll be here and we'll go from there. So